RESPECK here, coming to you guys with another video. Today's video is going to be on my updated winter foundation routine. So the first thing I need to do is spray my face with my Smashbox primer water, and I just do that to prime my face before I apply foundation. Next, I'm combing out my eyebrows and doing my eyebrows off camera for the purposes of time. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply foundation. So I've mixed the Fenty Beauty foundation, the Pro Filter in the color 420, and my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation in the color Mocha. As you can see, I am literally making a mess. I apply it on my face first and then blend it out with a flat foundation brush. Usually I spray it with my Smashbox primer water again. So I'm just blending that out, but midway through I switch it to my beauty blender because I didn't like the way the brush smelled. Don't judge me. So obviously it's super important to make sure that your foundation is blended out and that you blend down to your neck so that you don't have a line of demarcation. So that's what I'm doing. I think I apply one more layer just for more coverage, kind of cover some of those dark spots. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply my concealer. So I apply my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer to my under eyes, the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my chin, and my cupid's bow. I like this foundation because it is super thick and creamy and it dries completely matte and it's super full coverage. You guys know if you've watched any of my previous videos that this is like my favorite concealer of all time. And it's like the perfect like golden undertone, so it blends really well into my skin. So doing that now. Before I begin, I'm going to spray my beauty blender again with the primer water. I pretty much use the primer water all throughout my makeup routine just because I feel like it blends everything a lot better for me. Once again, I'm blending out my concealer. Just make sure when you're doing this that you're blending until your fingers bleed and fall off. Like you really need to blend, blend, blend just because you don't want any harsh lines on your face. I tried not to speed this part up because I really wanted you guys to see like how long it usually takes me to blend out my concealer. It's a little time consuming, but the more time you take on it, the better it looks. After I blend out my concealer, I'm going to set my concealer with the Sacha Buttercup powder. As you can see, I'm running out, so I have to apply some onto the lid and then press it into my skin. I don't bake anymore because one, it's winter, and two, my skin doesn't like baking because it makes my face look cakey. So I'm really just pressing it into my skin and blending it out right there on the spot. So if you have dry skin and you find yourself looking super cakey after you bake, then you might want to stop baking because that's what I had to do. So I completely understand because I really had a moment there where I would just bake every 5 seconds. But the next thing I'm doing is setting my foundation, and I'm using the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the color C8, and I'm just going to apply that everywhere that I applied my foundation. So on my forehead, down my neck, my face, all of those areas. Next thing I'm doing is contouring, and I'm contouring with that Tarte and Shayla palette, which if you've watched my very first video you have seen before. I actually did my first video on reviewing this product. So I'm going to apply that on my cheekbones, my forehead, and I believe my chin. I don't know if I showed this part. The last thing I'm going to do is, this isn't the last thing, I don't know why I said that, I lied. Anyway, I'm applying my highlighter next. This is one of my favorite highlighters at the moment. It's the Wet n Wild I can't remember what color it is, but it's like a really pretty rose gold color. And I pretty much drown myself in this highlighter because it's super soft and it's not super glittery, so it doesn't look really extra when you apply and pack on a whole bunch, but it makes your skin look really glowy, and I like it. So I'm applying it on my chin, cupid's bow, high points of my cheeks, nose, forehead, pretty much everywhere. And I apply my highlighter before my blush because you'll see in a minute that I feel like it blends a lot better when you apply the blush after the highlighter, as opposed to applying your blush first then highlighter, which is something I learned from my best friend Mallory, so shout out to Mal. So here's the blush, and I'm using the e.l.f. blush palette. I believe this is the dark palette, and I'm putting that in between my contour color and my highlighter. And as you can see, it blends a lot more seamlessly, and there's no random harsh lines from just using a dark color and then a light color right after it. And last but not least, I'm going to set my face again with my primer water, and then I am finished. And this is the finished look. I'm wearing Rihanna's lipstick in the color Midnight Wasabi. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Smells like food.